What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another movie review. My name is Rionyxiel.
It's your boy Robino.
Today we're here to review Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Man, this movie was actually pretty good.
Was it good? Was it good? I thoroughly enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Now, this movie was based on, loosely, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book series, which is actually just a collection of children's short stories, not by children, but stories for children. Short stories, all horror themed. From 1981, I believe it was, and beyond. That we never read.
Yes, I never even heard of.
No.
I didn't even hear about it.
I think I heard of it, but it just passed from my head. I didn't really care until I saw this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it exists. I've seen the images and illustrations from the book.
It's pretty much like it was the first Goosebumps. So if you read Goosebumps,
I don't go that far.
No, well, I mean, not the first Goosebumps. Well, kind of was if you think about it. Yeah, because Goosebumps is random stories.
Yeah, but when Goosebumps came out?
Yeah, in the 90s.
Did it come in the 90s?
They come out in the 90s? It had to come out in the 90s. I think Goosebumps came out in the 90s. We'll look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I think it came out, like I said, I remember reading Goosebumps in the 90s, so.
Yeah, but you know, they came out before that.
It probably came before. I don't know. It may came out at the same time or around after. It's like, ooh,
but anyway.
I can tell stories too. But anyway, this had a Goosebumps feel to it.
The story follows a bunch of kids who are being bullied. They befriend a guy named Ramon who's just passing through town.
Mm-hmm.
They go to a haunted house because they want to show him the haunted house, the local superstitions in town and all that stuff. They discover a book which, with a ghost, writes stories in there.
Yeah. And
these stories about the people in the story who are part of the group start writing, and when the stories get written magically in the book, and look like red ink, so it's probably blood. Right. The stories happen to the kids as based on,
and they all
die, disappear, whatever else.
What's so great about these movies is, of course, it's based off all those stories. And what was really cool about it is they chose one story. They chose the haunted house story.
I believe it's haunted house.
The haunted house story. If you read that book, they chose that one to weave in the other stories, which is Harold. What was it?
Nita Doty Walker.
Yeah, Nita Doty Walker and the Red Room, I believe.
And I think it's called the Dream, but whatever.
The Dream Red Room, I believe.
Whatever.
It was like Dream Red Room. So they weave those three together. And that was really creative. I really like that about the movie.
Now, but the books all the stories are independent from each other. They're just individual stories that you can read. But they chose, as he said, the haunted house to weave the stories together to make a cohesive film that we can all enjoy as a 2 hour or an hour and a half long movie rather than individual short stories or episodic like a Goosebumps television show would be.
Yes, which is another thing about. Well, me and him having, we're not arguing about it, but me and him have a little disagreement. I feel like
it's a discussion.
A nice discussion. I feel like this could have been a show also. Even though it was a great movie, it could have been a show. And the reason why I feel that way is, think about all the stories that were being told. They could have just put that on either Sci-Fi or USA or whatever. That could have been a great little series right there. Or use the same concept they did in the movie, but make it also into a show where they use the same characters, but they're telling stories while trying to figure out a way to survive.
Wasn't there a show where they told campfire stories? That's how they began.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That was called?
Yes, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
They're saying something like that, where they each tell a story and then dives into the actual story.
That was another one they could have did, but at the same time, it was that would have been kind of like a rip off of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I'm not seeing that. I don't see that.
Speaking of, they are doing a remake of that. I've heard. I just saw a trailer for it, so me need to watch it. But yeah, we just saw a trailer. I know that's off topic, but yeah, actually, that is actually a smart idea though, Rio. I never thought of it like that. They could have sat there and it could have been like a remake of Are You Afraid of the Dark, but instead of they're telling the stories of the stories,
the scary stories don't tell in the dark.
Okay. I think that would have been a great thing. It could have been still like in the 1960s and 70s them doing that.
1989.
No. But
80s. 1968.
Yeah, they could have been in 1968 doing like stories and stuff. I think that would have been a cool concept. But that's how I feel. This could have been a show. Also.
Now, all the stories that they told, what was your favorite?
Okay, well, I have a favorite. I just like. Okay, so the scariest one, the creative one, I would say that was really creative, the creative kill. I would say the Scarecrow.
Harold. Okay.
Harold, to me, what I really loved about it was the kill and how the bully died. So if you haven't seen the movie, there's a scene where he's looking at the Scarecrow. He hates it. All of a sudden, the Scarecrow seems to be following him, And next thing you know, the Scarecrow comes alive a little
The
bit.
creepy part is it happens in a cornfield.
Yes, in the cornfield, yes. And he's running. Scarecrow's chasing him. He finally gets a pitchfork. Tries to stab him, which is like, really? You gonna try to stab a Scarecrow?
He has a giant hole
big
in his
old
stomach.
hole. Like, you can see the stick and everything. So, the Scarecrow looks at him and goes... And, well, he didn't laugh or that. He just takes the pitchfork. He starts running. The bully starts running. Next thing you know, he gets stabbed. Now, of course, it's PG-13. So I'm like, there's no blood. There's nothing. This is going to be boring. He just dies. No. This guy starts to spit out straw and has straw coming out of his stomach. And his face starts to get all messed up. And next thing you know, boom, he's now a Scarecrow. And that, to me, is the most creative thing I've ever seen when it comes to a scene. To a scary scene.
I know
that was scary. That was really creative.
That you were not upset a little bit that this movie was PG-13, because horror movies at PG-13 don't tend to generally be that good.
Yeah.
Because they can't show too much gore, swear words, or any more of the adult themes, because they can't do that.
It'd be kind of corny. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like this could have been a show. Anything like this could have been a show.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go all the way with a horror movie, I feel sometimes, it should just make it into a show.
But the fact that they showed no blood at the straw was almost darker or more terrifying, because blood, you expect to see that type of things more for especially adults who are used to that type of like movies of blood, guts, gore, being torn apart, stuff like that. But the hay coming out and seeing the desperation in the kid's eyes as he was skipped the cornfield, straw growing out of his mouth and out of his hands and all that stuff, and
everything.
He was struggling, crawling on the ground, trying to get home. You could see the tears in his eyes. He was like trying to get home.
And that's even more creepier. Your home's right there, and you're screaming, and nobody hears you.
Because your mouth's all muffled because of the hay coming out of it, or straw. So.
Now, I don't know what the parents were doing. I don't know if they just said they were so bad. Because, like I said, he was in trouble anyway. So, I don't know, maybe they were like, man, forget you. I ain't. Okay.
This is their delinquent son, whatever else. So, I was like, who cares? Well, they care, of course, I'm sure. But it's like, he's always out late, so we're not going to bother with it. And then also, he disappears. They call the police. Oh, no. Yeah. But that, just the look in his eyes, the desperation, the fear, that added more twisted psychological element than just blood spewing, him dying of blood loss in the random cornfield. That's more psychological for me. I like that.
And then my creepiest one had to be the frog-looking lady when
the Red Room or whatever it's called.
That was creepy. Her just kind of. Well, he does the waddle better than I do. He does the little waddle thing, but she's waddling towards him.
She just does like this.
And of course he's trying to escape, but there's like different versions. Well, not versions, but
it's a whole bunch of
hallways, and she keeps on coming forward. And he's trying to run away, but he can't escape. And finally, she catches up with him and just gives him a big old hug, and she
somehow
absorbs him
into him, and then. Right as he does that, his friends who are hunting him down, trying to find him because know the story's being written about him at the time, so he's in trouble. They get down there, open the elevator, and he's gone. They find his little pen sitting on the where he was, but that's when he's gone. That's where he was.
And then the nastiest, disgusting one, I'm gonna have to say, and we forgot about this one, was the one with the soup. The one with the guy, one of the friends that was eating soup, and it was really body. It was like a toe.
Big toe.
Big toe. And the big, that's what's called, the big toe? The big toe. Oh my God. That was disgusting. Oh, I almost threw up. I literally, I'm glad I ate before I watched that movie. Because, he was eating it like, he was eating like normal. Like, he was just like, yeah, man. Like literally.
Pull the toe out of his mouth.
I almost threw up. That was disgusting. I give him props on that one. That creeped me out. My stomach hurt. But yeah, those are my those are the ones that really creep me out and stuff like that. But how about you?
Now, I know during our previous session of this messed up issue, because it took us a while to record this, I explained my phobia to you and to the audience, which you're not going to see until I look at it again. My phobia is weird. It's something crawling at me.
Yeah, okay.
Not like a bug crawling at me. I'm fine with that. But something big crawling at me in an unusual manner. Like, say a dog is charging at me, that causes fear. Any creature, like a horse or something, crawling or coming at me on 4 legs, that's a matter. Human, that's no issue. So, when the Mi-Tai-Do-Ti Walker, I think I mispronounced it, assembled himself after going down the chimney. He's a bunch of human body parts that can assemble into one being and hunt down someone. Right. Which is fine until it started on all 4 limbs, 2 feet, 2 hands, started crawling after the guy, like galloping. Right. That almost sent me out of the theater out of fear alone, because that is just terrifying for me. I can't deal with things crawling like that.
Which is very surprising when he told me that. I was kind of like in shock because Rio's never scared of really.
It's
anything.
the same thing as The Grudge. The Grudge was boring. It was okay, but it was okay. The one part that scared me was when that woman crawled down the stairs or crawls at you. That's unnatural. I don't like it. I hate crawling things.
Wow, so. I'm in shock with that one. But yeah, overall this movie was decent. If I was to give it a rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, man.
If I have to give it a rating, I'd probably give it a 7.5.
Okay.
A little above average. It was an enjoyable watch. The creative elements in there. My one issue was the peak part of the movie was the actual story elements. So when the people were being hunted down and things like that were happening.
I definitely agree. I feel like Stella and Ramon. I feel like the way they told their story, they didn't really build them up as well as they could have. Even though we got to find out a little bit more about them around in the end, there was no build up on that, and they could have did a little bit better. But overall, I think everyone did a good job. I did like Austin, his character Chuck. I did like him.
He's the one that died to the.
Yeah, the one with the creepy
frog woman.
The frog woman. Yeah.
You like so much.
I felt like it was very creepy. But at the same, well, I'm sorry. We're talking about Chuck here, but yeah, Chuck was funny. Yeah, Chuck was really funny, and I really would love to see him in more movies because with what material he had, he really made me laugh.
Really?
He really did. I laughed a little bit. I think he has potential, and I would love to see him in more a little bit rated R horror movies if he decides to go that path. Cause I think he's really creative when it comes to being funny in a movie. So I definitely like him. Everybody else did a good job in acting.
Everyone else did
a good job, I guess. I mean, I wasn't too impressed, but like I said,
okay,
cool.
Any closing thoughts on this movie, man?
Go see it. See it in theaters. I would definitely recommend that. Usually, I would say wait to DVD, but I would definitely say go see this in theaters, especially. I would say teenagers, because like I say, teenagers these days I don't think they will like it as much unless you read the book. Maybe like kids, maybe.
Oh, we haven't read the book, so maybe reading the book will ruin the movie for us.
Not really. I don't think so.
But
actually, I'm kind of glad we watched it before we.
Yeah. Like I said, I said in a previous episode, I told you I purchased the book. I'm waiting for it to come in on Amazon because while we never heard it before, now we've seen the movie. I want to see more of the story. I want to read all the stories they have in there because. Right. The ones they showed are interesting, and then I want to see how they relate from the movie or the book into the movie. And if they're similar, I want to see how the other stories go as well, because they're all dark and they all look like they'll be enjoyable, even though they are technically for kids.
Yeah.
So.
So let us know in the comment section below if you watched the movie, and let us know your favorite scare. If you haven't watched it, definitely go check it out. So if you're watching this on my channel, man, go check out my boy Rionyxiel, man. He does the same thing I do, man. Movie reviews, trailer reactions, and so forth. Also, check out our other channel, Fear Bot Gaming. We play games on there. We got game trailer reactions that we watch. And hopefully we'll be streaming soon on Twitch. And yeah.
Alright, and if you're watching this on my channel, go check out Robino Entertainment and Kid Robino, both linked down in the description below. Kid Robino does a lot of the, Robino Entertainment, my apologies, does a lot of the trailer reactions, top 5s, movie reviews, stuff we do on this channel, but a little extra. And Kid Robino does the same thing, but more for anime and cartoon themes, so it's a little more chill out, child oriented.
Right.
So definitely go check both those channels out. And thank y'all for watching this episode today. Hope to see you next movie review. We do. Bye.
Peace out.